So we've spoken on a previous episode about the fact that Christianity marks Sunday as the important day of rest. And if I recall correctly, you mentioned that was the day of resurrection, right? But my question for you is the Ten Commandments explicitly talk about the Sabbath.
Yes.
How do you reconcile this?
How do we reconcile that? Only that, 1 in 7 is 1 in 7. So every seventh day we rest. Um, we believe that the Lord said on the Lord's day is the day set aside for worship. So to me, it's because God revealed it in the last days that it would be the seventh day
Oh,
would
so
be.
okay. So you say the Sabbath is basically Sunday. It's not the actual Sabbath that counts. It's the seventh day, which is Sunday, and every Sunday is the seventh day.
Correct.
Gotcha. All right.
So yeah, I think the day of
So
the
for
week.
for us, it's going to be practically impossible to adapt such interpretation because in Hebrew, the seventh day for us is called the Sabbath. We cannot apply it to every other day because the
Yeah,
Sabbath that is mentioned in the Bible is
yeah,
is
and
is
I, I
named
think I
Sabbath.
think you talked about it before, but the members of my church, of our church, that are in Israel, they have the Sabbath on Saturday
Yes, yes.
there.
But
So
but yeah, but that was from a technical perspective, from the fact that everybody's is shut down on Sabbath, not because they
yeah,
chose to do so.
it's
Although
that
you also mentioned another denomination that
Seventh Day
decided.
Adventist.
Yes, exactly. So I
Yeah,
remember one. Yeah.
it's interesting. There are lots and lots of good people in the world, and they sometimes find certain principles that they attach to. And it's interesting that a lot of the names of churches are actually based on their particular unique belief or what they figure is the important one, like the Baptists, the Seventh day Adventists, the Methodists. They think that, for example, the Methodists believe the method of things is super important. The Baptists think the baptism part is super important. They believe all the other stuff as well, but that is kind of what they focus on. And I think for the Jewish people, I would say it's probably the Sabbath is what differentiates them more than anything else. And I would say here in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, it's what separates us as well, because we actually hold on to the Sabbath, Sunday, and believe that it is the Lord's day, that we shouldn't work. But if we work, it's the Lord's work. That's what the day is for. So
And no one is working like I would ask it differently. Is it forbidden to work on Sunday, or is it just a customary?
well, it's a commandment, but there's still police officers and firemen and doctors
Yeah,
that have to work sometimes, right?
yeah.
Um, so it is not. Nothing is ever forced. It says this is what God says. This is what God's prophet says this means. And then it's up to you to decide whether you're going to honor that or not.
And just as a quick question, the day starts at midnight?
Yeah, well, most of us would say it's midnight to midnight, whereas you would go sundown to sundown, right?
Yes, that's why I'm asking because that's also something that differentiates us in how do you count the days? Because it's interesting. Yeah, according to Judaism, the day actually starts when the sun sets the
Yeah,
next.
which is sometimes confusing to people when they read the Bible if they don't understand that. Because when they start talking about the first watch and the second watch and the third watch and the fourth watch, if you don't understand the way the days work, you don't know what they're talking about, right?
Yeah, when you
So,
realize they had no watches back then, they didn't know when
yeah,
midnight was actually midnight. Yeah, you
yeah,
can only attune your watch according to the sun.
yep.
That's interesting. Yeah, and the moon, of course. So yeah, so I think it's fascinating.